Hello guys, so this is Speedjo Studio, and in today's video we are going to do this. So there is a house floating manipulation that I did in Photoshop. So without wasting my time, let's get into Photoshop. So we are here in Photoshop and I'll create new. Pressing Ctrl N. I'll come here and I want the width to be 14 inches and the height too should be 14 inches. I'll click on create. Okay, so there is my working area. So what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to bring in my resource. So I'll bring in first of all I'll bring in the mountain. Yes. Okay, so this is the mountain. I will scale it up a bit. Sorry guys. I'll scale it up a bit and I'll press here. So the next thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to bring in our house and tower. So where's our tower? So this is our tower. I'll bring in this lighthouse tower. I'll bring in here. I'll click here and reduce the size of the tower. And I'll drag it here. Okay, I think this is good. So the next thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to bring in my house. I'll come here, I'll look for the house. This is the house, and I'll bring in the house. I think I have a PNG of the house. Okay, so I'll go in for this one. And I'll bring in the house. So guys, what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to clear the edges of the house and the tower. So I'll right click on the house and rasterize it. Let's name this one tower. So I'll select the house, I'll come to layer marks and I'll click on it and I'll choose the brush tool. So the brush tool is going to do all the work for me. So right now my brush is bigger, so I have to reduce it. So right now my brush is bigger, so I have to reduce the brush size. And I have to clean. But when you are cleaning, make sure that your brush size is at the brush color over here. This is the foreground and this is the background. So make sure that when it's on black, it means it's going to clean. But when you switch it up to the other way around, it means that it will bring back what you cleared. You get it? So let's switch it back and start cleaning. When you can't see your brush pointer tool, you have to maybe off your caps lock. So as you press your caps lock, your brush will be visible on your screen. You get it? Okay, so I think this is okay. I'll select the tower to rasterize it and click on layer marks. So right now the brush is serving as an eraser tool. You get it? Yeah. So I'll clean it and I think this is okay. So guys, what I'm going to do next is that I'm going to bring in my background. You get it? So let's go. Where is my background? This is my background and boom. So I will scale it up. And right now I want the background to be at the back of my resource. You get it? So I'll select the background and I'll bring it down here. I think I like this. So right now the color of the mountain is not matching with the background. So what I'm going to do next is that I'll select the mountain, I'll right click it and rasterize it. Then I'm going to change the color. So I'll come to here. There's the adjustment layer. So I'll click on it and I'll come to hue and saturation. So right now I'm going to change the color green to something like reddish, something like that. You get it? So I'll be changing. You see the green is changing, but it's affecting the background. So what I'm going to do next is that I'll click here. It means that it should affect only the mountain. So if I click here, boom. Now guys, you can see I can change it, manipulate it. This one, it depends on you. You get it? Okay. So the next thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to change the color of the tower and the color of the house to the same way that I did. So I'll select the tower. So there's the tower. I'll select it. But right now I'm not using the hue and saturation. Right now I'm using photo filter. Guys, you get it? So I'm using photo filter for that. So I click here to affect only the tower. So this is more or less like clipping marks. So I'll increase it. You see, it's now somehow reddish. I like it that way. It really matches with the background. Not too much, because too much of everything is bad, you know. So the next thing that I'm going to do next is that I'll select the house to apply the same format. Photo filter. I'll click here to affect only the house. Yeah, that's cool. So guys, I think where we are about to finish whatever we are doing. So the next thing that I'm going to do next is that I'm going to bring in my bubble shield something. It's here already, so I'll just bring in, then I'll increase the size a bit. I'll make sure it's matching the edges of the okay. So guys, before I'll do that, let me turn off my bubble. So guys, the next thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to match the lights to mountains and the house over there. Because the light at the background, I don't feel it. So what I'll do is that I'll click here. I'll click on the corners of the background. I'll right click, then I'll click flip horizontal. I think I like it this way because the light direction is coming from this side. You get it? And I'll press here. So guys, I'll select my mountain. I'll select it. I'm going to match the highlight and everything based on the background image we have over there. So I'll select my mountain. I'll click here on the adjustment layer. I'll come to what? Curves. I'll click on the curves. I'll click the dot over here. I'll bring it down. Yeah. So this is what I like. I'll come and click here. This is the curve. I'll come and click here. Then select the brush. This brush tool is very powerful, guys. It's very, very powerful. I'll increase the brush size by holding the bracket over there. You can increase it as this side too as possible. So what I'm going to do is that, as I told you earlier, when it's on black, it means that it's going to clean. When it's on white, it means that maybe you are reversing whatever you've done. You get it? So I'm going to clear here a bit. Guys, you guys get it? I reduce it a bit. You get it? So this is lighting in Photoshop. You get it? It's going to give us something. I'll reduce my opacity a bit. So I'll press X to reverse it. You get it? Something like this. I'll come here and bring it. You get it? I'll come here. I reduce it a bit. Okay, so guys, I think this is cool. We can do this for tutorial purposes. We can have time and do it the way you want it to be like. So I'll do the same thing for the tower too. I'll select the tower. I'll come to the adjustment layer. Then I'll come to what? Curves. I'll bring it down here. You get it? I'll select here, pick my brush the same way. So it's on black, so it's going to clean. Get it? Get it? I'll do the same thing for. I think I'll have to go down a bit. You get it? So there's highlights and what? I have to go down a bit. So it's a contrast and highlight that I've done over there. So I'll do the same thing for the house too. I'll select the house. I'll click on adjustment layer. I'll come here to curves. I'll go down. Let everything appear as somehow black. So the black are your highlight, are your contrast, and the part that you are going to clean are your highlights. You guys get it? I reduce it a bit. Come here. Get it? I get it. Okay. So guys, I think we are getting there. So guys, what I'm going to do next is that I'll bring in I'll on my bubble or something like a shield. I don't know the name. Yeah, I'll on it, and I'll rasterize it. Right click and rasterize it. I'll click on the adjustment layer here. I'll take the brush tool. This brush tool is very powerful. I love the brush tool. Then I'll clean unnecessary parts as was seen. I'll make sure that my opacity is at 100 so that it will clean it well. But right now, the round thing over here, the bubble or something like shield is looking bluish. So I have to make sure it's looking somehow reddish or something. You get it? You people get it? Yeah. So I'll select it, right click it, then come towards hue and saturation. I'm changing from blue towards something like red. So I'll click here, clipping marks. I'll be changing until I reach something like I'll bring down my saturation. Yeah, so that one, it depends on you. But I think I like something like this. Okay. So guys, what you are going to do next is that I'm going to work on the background. I think I have to come down like this. So I have to select all my items except the background. I have to reduce it a bit because our mountain and the distance is looking too big on the screen. So I have to reduce it a bit after. I think this one is okay. After I'll select my background. I'll come to filter, then I'll come to camera raw. Okay, so this is camera raw. I'll click on the basic. I'll come to contrast. I'll give it a little bit of contrast. I'll come down here. I'll bring in more shadows. I'll come down here, give more textures. I'll give vibrance, I'll give saturation. I'll come down here, I'll denoise a bit, sharpen it, color noise reduction. And the most important thing, I'll come to this place, effects, then I'll add vignettes. I'll press OK. So guys, this is what we have, and I think this looks cool. This looks cool. So I'll select the mountain excluding the background. I want to group them. I'll select the whole of it, then I'll press shift. So this is how I did. I'll select the mountain, I'll hold on shift, then I'll scroll to the top, then I'll click here. It will select from the mountain to the bubble over there, excluding the background. Then I'll click on group. It will group it for me. Then I'll name it floating. I think my name is not good. I think the background is too hard for me, so I have to reduce the brightness. So I'll right click and go to brightness and contrast. I'll click here and reduce the brightness a bit. You get it? I'll increase contrast a bit. I'll select my floating, I'll increase it a bit. The next thing is that I'm going to add my base. You know that as we did in sky, there have to be something like base, you get it? So this base have to come down, you get it? I'll put one here. Select the base, then I'll go to curves. I normally use curves. And I'll click on here to affect only the base. Get it? I think that is good. I'll select the tool, then convert to smart objects. Then I'll duplicate the base. Let me name it base. I'll duplicate it. Ctrl J, or anyhow Ctrl C, Ctrl V, anyhow you want it. I'll make this one smaller. I'll share the opacity. I'll reduce the opacity a bit. Yeah, so guys, this is what we have.
Hey guys, if you found this video very helpful, kindly click on the like button. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button. Click on the bell icon to get notified, and also share it as well. Still, the name remains Speedjo Studio, and I'm out.